Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a quick little instructional video on four resources that I use in my classroom pretty much on a daily basis. So the four I'm going to be talking about is Nearpod, Padlet, Quizlet, and Kahoot. Okay, the first one we're going to do is Kahoot. Okay, so Kahoot is used to get students involved. With teaching high school, I have found out really quickly that they are very competitive with each other. So with Kahoot, I'm able to kind of narrow that competitiveness down to actually into something we're actually learning about. So Kahoot is pretty much an interactive live quiz that the students can work individually or in teams for each question. Um, Within that quiz, it is timed questions so that they have to go with their gut and answer while there's still time on that clock. Kahoot also has come out with an update where you can assign the Kahoot for them to be able to use it inside of class and outside of class. So it's a really great tool for them to use whether they're playing in class or if you want to assign it to somebody out of class, you can do that as well. Okay. So when you come up to Kahoot, you're usually on this nice little homepage. Okay. You can make Kahoots yourself, which I hadn't done any yet because I just find other people's. But Kahoot has a whole different database that you can use to be able to find any type of quiz that you want to give out. So right now, my kids are learning about the skeletal system. So I just go in here and type in skeletal system. And there's a whole lot of different quizzes that I could choose from. They range anywhere from 10 questions to 50 questions. So you just go through, click one, see if you like the questions that come up, okay? And then you'll simply click play. And this is where you have a couple of different options, okay? We can use it for single player. So if somebody's just studying on their own and they want to take it on their own, they can hit practice. You can assign it as assignments for them to be able to do outside of class. But the main way to use Kahoot is through this teach option. So you'll press teach, and I'm going to pull up my phone and get on there so we can look. Kahoot. Alright, and then you can play in teams or you can also play in individuals. Okay, a lot of my kids really don't like the team because they don't like to share their devices. So we usually do a classic one-on-one device. Once you click that, you'll wait for the home screen to load and then you will put in the PIN number 8398437. And then you'll put in a nickname and make sure that they don't use any kind of funky nicknames or any of that. And then you have the ability to click people out. Once everybody's in the Kahoot, you will click start, and on their devices they will be able to click the appropriate answer that goes along with each question. Okay, so primary functions of the red bone marrow, they get a chance to read it, and they go in and they click the answer. And boom, they get an immediate feedback of the things that they got wrong. So in class, we go through it. We have a lot of people getting that answer wrong, so we can take the time to kind of explain why we got it wrong and be able to um, talk about it a little bit so that they get an immediate response, an immediate update for the things that they get wrong so they kind of remember what the right answers are, right? The second one I use in my classroom is Padlet. And Padlet is just pretty much an online discussion board that the kids are allowed to make posts on their thoughts and brainstorm ideas of any type of topics that we're talking about in the classroom. It can be used as an activating strategy, collaboration, their note-taking, summarizers, and even exit tickets. Alright, so Padlet is another super easy platform to use. Okay, so you log in, you'll just log in with your Google account if your school is using Google Suite. But you have a couple of different options. There's different galleries that you can go into, but a lot of times I just use it for making a Padlet. So you just click make a Padlet. There's all different kinds of options. I usually just go with the wall because it gives me the most ability to see everybody's. And then you'll just give it a title, blah, 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 blah. And then it will pull up, let me see if I can go back to mine that I've already made. It will end up looking something about like this. So this one was for bloodborne pathogens that I did a couple units back. Alright, so their question was, what do you already know about bloodborne pathogens? And this can be done, as you can see, with them putting their name in it, or it can also be done as anonymous. So they just are able to go in, put their answers or put their ideas on that board, and everybody in the class can see it and start to give kind of feedback off of each other. So that's a really good one to use, especially in our starting activities. We'll usually do a Padlet just so that they can get those juices flowing. The next one we use quite a bit is Quizlet. So Quizlet is an outstanding study tool. I personally used it in college. Pretty much what it is an online database of flashcards where you can create your own, or you can search from any type of other flashcards that are within the Quizlet site. You can also use Quizlet Live in the classroom, which is pretty much another version of Kahoot, so that they're able to work with each other and come up with the right answers. Alright, so one of the cool things I like about Kahoot is really how easy it is to use, just like everything else that I've been using today. So you can create your own, or you can look through the database of what Quizlet has to offer. So if you go in, create a study set, you can give it a title. Let me get out of this, try it for free. You can create a title, and then you're able to go in and put your term and your definition so that they have options to be able to use to study. So we're going to pull out one of mine that I have created, and you have a lot of different options of studying within these Quizlets. Alright, so we can use them as flashcards, which is just going in and flipping them back and forth, like so. And then you'll have your progress on the left-hand side. You can use it as learn, so you can go in, read all the flashcards, and it will answer you questions or ask you questions, and they answer the questions. You can have a test on it. You can do matching. So it's a time matching game where they have to go in and match all of the terms. And these are a couple of different things that I enjoyed using whenever I was studying. Okay, so they have a lot of different games that you can play. So gravity is another game that you can play. So protect the planets from incoming asteroids. So you can select the difficulty, definitions, and then you'll just press, and then they're able to go in and type in the answers, and it will kill all of these different asteroids. Okay, so Quizlet is a really good tool for them to use, especially if you're getting these kids to actually learn how to study for themselves. With being in high school, I've noticed that a lot of these kids don't know how to study outside of school. So Quizlet is a really good way for them to go ahead and start entering that world of outside study so that they can be more prepared when they go to college. The last one that I use is EdPuzzle, and I use EdPuzzle quite a bit, especially when we were doing online learning, because my class is such a hands-on class. It was a lot easier for me to explain stuff and to show stuff with EdPuzzle than it was for me to be doing it online. So with EdPuzzle, it is an interactive video lesson. You can use videos that are on the EdPuzzle system with pre-made questions on them, or you can take videos anywhere from YouTube, Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks, Crash Course, all of these different places to be able to insert a video into EdPuzzle, and you can make questions about that video that you want your kids to know. So I have a couple in here. You can see I have some that need to be graded. But pretty much you just go in and they'll be able to play that video. Okay.
Hi everyone,
it's
welcome
like
to the gross
lecture or whatever kind of video you want
lecture.
them to be
Today
using.
we're going to identify the major
But a good thing
of a long bone, both macroscopically or gross
EdPuzzle
and microscopically,
is that they're not allowed to just skip through and answer the questions and be done with it. they have the option on EdPuzzle that you can prevent them from skipping so that they aren't able to skip through and just answer the questions. They're going to have to physically sit there and watch that video and be able to understand that video for them to be able to answer those questions. So we'll just click on one of these ones on the home screen so we can see a little bit of that video. So while you're planning on whatever video you're wanting to give, okay, you want to make sure you watch through it, because I've had a lot of times to where I assign videos and they're in different languages. Okay, so we just click through, make sure that video works, and then we can click through, if we are the teacher, to see the questions on the side. You can use multiple choice questions, you can use speaking questions, all of that good stuff are options that you'll be able to use within EdPuzzle. Okay, so I don't even know if I'm going to get this right. Let's see, jacket. Nope, got it wrong. And then they can go through and be able to answer these questions. And then you have a grade book within EdPuzzle for you to be able to kind of keep an eye on all of their different questions that they use. Okay, so how you would assign a video, you'll just click on whatever video. You can click assign if you already have pre-made classes, but since I do it through Canvas itself, I will copy it into my database, and then I'll go through Canvas and import it as an embedded assignment and use it as an external tool to be able for them to use it straight through Canvas, so they don't have to flip back and forth from EdPuzzle to Canvas to EdPuzzle and Canvas. So EdPuzzle and Canvas are really good about being able to embed those EdPuzzles within Canvas. So it's really easy for the kids to use, and it's really easy with grading purposes, because once they get through with that EdPuzzle and you embed it into Canvas, then those questions that they answer and their grades will fully be within Canvas. So it's a lot easier for you to be able to switch those into your database, whether it's PowerSchool or whatever you use. But that is the 4 main tools that I use in my classroom. I hope this video helped. Yeah, hope you can get some cool things out of it that I was able to get out of some of my other colleagues as well. Thank you.